Your brain was designed to learn through stories, not grammar rules, not vocabulary lists. Stories. And today, I am going to prove it and show you exactly how to use this to become fluent in English faster than anything you have ever tried. Fluent Speak Lab, where science meets storytelling to build real English fluency. Subscribe now and let stories transform your English forever. I want to tell you a story. A long time ago, before schools existed, before textbooks existed, before grammar rules were ever written down, human beings were already learning language. Children were becoming fluent speakers of extraordinarily complex languages. Languages with thousands of words and intricate grammatical structures without a single lesson. Without a single exercise. Without a single vocabulary list. How? Through stories. Through listening to the people around them tell stories about real events, real people, real emotions, real experiences. Through absorbing language in the context of meaning, in the context of narrative, in the context of things that mattered. And here is the thing that modern neuroscience has confirmed. The thing that should completely change how you approach English learning. Your brain never stopped working that way. The story learning mechanism that built human language acquisition for hundreds of thousands of years. It is still fully active inside your brain, right now, waiting to be used. When you study grammar rules, your brain engages a small, specific region associated with explicit rule learning. It processes the information analytically. It stores it in a way that requires conscious effort to retrieve. But when you hear or tell a story, something completely different happens. Multiple regions of your brain activate simultaneously. The language centers, the emotion centers, the memory centers, the sensory processing regions, the social cognition areas. Your entire brain lights up, working together, processing the story as a complete lived experience, and language learned inside a complete lived experience. Language absorb in the context of real meaning, real emotion. Real narrative is stored fundamentally differently than language learned from a textbook. It is stored deeper. It is retained longer. And most importantly, for speaking fluency, it is retrieved automatically without conscious effort. The same way native speakers retrieve language. This is not a theory. This is documented neuroscience. And it means that every story you engage with deeply in English, every story you tell in English, is doing something to your brain that no grammar exercise ever could. Let me go deeper into the neuroscience because I want you to understand exactly what happens in your brain during story-based language learning and why it produces fluency so much faster than traditional methods. Researchers at Princeton University conducted a fascinating study on what happens in the brain during storytelling. They found something extraordinary. When a person listens to a story being told, their brain begins to synchronize with the brain of the storyteller. The neural patterns in the listener's brain start to mirror the patterns in the speaker's brain. They call this neural coupling. What does this mean for language learning? It means that when you listen to a native English speaker tell a real story with real emotion, real rhythm, real natural language, your brain is not just processing the words. It is literally patterning itself on the speaker's brain. It is learning not just the vocabulary, but the entire way that speaker thinks and feels and expresses themselves in English. This is why children who grow up surrounded by rich storytelling become extraordinarily fluent speakers. They are not just learning words. They are absorbing entire ways of thinking and communicating. Now here is the exact story method. 3 steps, each one activating a different layer of story-based learning. Step 1. Absorb stories in English. Every day, for at least 15 minutes, listen to or read a real story in English. Not a textbook story. A real human story. Podcasts that tell true stories, like personal experience podcasts, are perfect. YouTube videos where someone narrates a real experience. Audiobooks, short stories, any real human narrative in natural English. While you absorb Do not focus on vocabulary or grammar. Focus entirely on meaning, emotion, and the flow of the narrative. Let the language wash over you. Your brain is pattern matching automatically underneath your conscious attention. Step 2. Retell the story out loud. Immediately after absorbing a story, close your eyes and retell it in your own words, in English out loud, not word for word. Your version, your words, your interpretation. This is where the magic happens, because when you retell a story, you are forced to retrieve the language you just absorbed and produce it actively. This is retrieval practice, the most powerful memory consolidation mechanism your brain has activated through storytelling. Step 3. Create your own story. Every day, tell one original story in English out loud about something that actually happened to you, about something you witnessed, about something you feel strongly about. Real personal stories told in English with genuine emotion activate every language region in your brain simultaneously and build the deepest possible fluency foundations. Now, I am going to give you 3 specific story exercises, and then your complete daily story practice routine. These exercises are designed to work together, building fluency from 3 different angles simultaneously. Exercise 1. The 5-minute story sprint. Set a timer for 5 minutes. Choose any topic from your own life, a memorable day, a difficult moment, a funny experience, a person who changed you. Speak in English for 5 full minutes, telling that story out loud without stopping, without editing, without going back to fix mistakes. The sprint format forces your brain into real story production, the exact mental state of natural conversation. Do this every single day. The topic changes. The format stays the same. 5 minutes. 1 story. No stopping. Exercise 2. The story shadow. Find a short video, 3 to 5 minutes, of a native English speaker telling a personal story, a comedian telling an anecdote, a podcaster sharing an experience, a YouTuber narrating something that happened to them. Watch it once for pure enjoyment and understanding. Then watch it again, pausing after every 2 or 3 sentences, and retell that section in your own words out loud, not repeating their exact words, retelling the meaning in your own English. This trains you to absorb natural English narrative patterns and reproduce them in your own voice. Exercise 3. The story chain. This one is particularly powerful for building vocabulary in context. The only way vocabulary actually sticks for speaking. Start a story with 1 sentence. Then add a complication. Then add a reaction. Then add a resolution. Then add a lesson or reflection. 5 sentences. 1 complete story arc. In English. Out loud. Every day. The story chain forces you to use English across multiple narrative functions, description, conflict, emotion, resolution, reflection, all in one short exercise. And language used across multiple functions is language that becomes permanently automatic. Now, here is your complete daily story practice routine. Morning. 5-minute story sprint. Any topic from your life? No stopping. Pure English output. Midday 15 minutes absorbing a real English story. Podcast, video, audiobook, real human narrative in natural English. Evening, story shadow. Exercise, 3 to 5 minutes of native storytelling, retold in your own words. Before bed, 1 story chain. 5 sentences. Complete arc. Out loud. Total time, 30 to 40 minutes. Distributed through your day. Building fluency through the most natural language acquisition mechanism. Your brain has. Stories are not just entertainment. Stories are the original language learning technology, the one your brain was built for. The one that has been creating fluent speakers for longer than any school or textbook has existed. You have been studying English the hard way for long enough. Start telling stories. Your brain will do the rest. Right now in the comments, tell me one story, just 2 sentences. Something that happened to you recently in English right now. Because that is where your fluency begins, with one real story told out loud. Hit like. Subscribe to Fluent Speak Lab. Stories build human language. Now let them build yours. Let's go!